Hi, this is Zinah and I'm contributing for HijUp Magazine Volume 2. We are now in Hyde Park, London, and I'm here to have a conversation and interview Mariah Idrissi.
Hi Maria. Hello.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and the things we perhaps haven't heard of before.
Yes, well, I am half Moroccan, half Pakistani. I graduated last year in English literature, and then straight after I opened a salon with my cousin called Salon Marrakesh, and yeah, I got into modelling, which I did not expect to do. So here I am, and I've become very passionate actually about like literally driving Muslim and just general modest dress designers into the mainstream world, because it's still kind of a little bit just in its own bubble. So that's what I'm working towards now.
So how did it came about, with the campaign, and how did you feel on the day, or even when they approached you?
So yeah, on the day, like it was very straightforward, really easy. Everyone was very respectful, considering like they weren't Muslim. So that was really nice to know. And yeah, when it came out, I didn't expect anything big from it, but it just blew up, and it made me realize, wow, like this is actually the first time a Muslim woman in hijab is seen so majorly in the media. And it's not just, forget even the fashion world, in every sector that someone is doing something in, we should kind of not shy away from it and think that hijab restricts us from having like a personality.
So tell me, how did it came about? How did they find you, and how was the day overall doing the cool campaign?
Yeah, it was really straightforward. Everything was like literally pre-planned in a way. They understood obviously what the restrictions in hijab is, so I didn't have to like explain anything too much. So yeah, everything was really good. Nothing to complain about.
So the campaign has been obviously picked up by the world, and it received really good and also some critical reviews.
Yeah.
Obviously, naturally with anything.
Yeah, of course.
How did it impact and change your life?
I mean, in terms of positive like views and opinions of people, that made me like really motivated, because I knew I had some support. But in terms of negative, I don't really, I'm quite thick-skinned, so and it was never like direct to my face, so I don't have time to go out looking for negative points about me. But obviously I'm aware of certain things coming from Muslims and non-Muslims alike, which I take on board. I understand their points, and sometimes it was just ignorance, so just left it where it should stay.
What's your opinion on the impact it had on the fashion industry, or even on the modest community?
Yeah. I mean, I've been saying this for a while now, since getting into it and realizing like the influence that social media has, and I'm seeing that obviously like there is definitely becoming a really fine line between like being modest and being extravagant. People are not seeing the difference, and I do feel like even me standing here today without pointing, so some people this might not be acceptable, and I can totally understand their views, but it's all about striving to your intention. So as long as you're doing something else along with it, because we are representing Islam, I don't just model, I do a lot more than that. So if girls are aspiring to be models, you can't just have that and think that's the end all be all end all, because we are Muslim first and foremost. So wearing hijab is a lot more than just fashion.
So at the young age of 23, how does it feel like being in the spotlight and having to almost carry the responsibility of portraying a positive image of Muslim women?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't know, because I don't really announce it, because I don't want people to put me on the spot, but I used to like do music. I used to rap before, and I used to do poetry. So
oh my god, do a line.
No, please, no, that's why I don't say it. No, don't do music anymore. Stop music. So yeah, so like, I'm used to being on stage, I'm used to being in front of cameras talking. So for me, that wasn't a shock to me. That wasn't something new, and I had no feelings towards that. It was more the fact that in terms of the Muslim world, all I literally like, you feel the pressure as of course, as a Muslim woman. Any little thing, like before, if I had an Instagram picture and a bit of my ankle was showing, no one cared, but everyone wants to put their like 2 pence in. As soon as someone's got a bit of attention, everyone then wants to lecture you, because maybe it gives them a spotlight, I don't know.
Yeah.
So for me that was a little bit irritating, but I understand it completely. That's just how it works. But yeah, that's why I try hard not to just show that I do modelling. I do a lot more, and I have done a lot more in the past, and I'm not going to forget my goals, and I'm going to stay focused with everything I plan to do beforehand and not let this overtake my life, because it's just one aspect of me.
Okay. So what are your goals?
Well, in terms of business, I've got a couple business plans and things happening actually. So yes, we've got our new website launching. It's called, oh my God, sorry. Did we change the name? I won't mention that though. I won't mention it because it's not yet. Okay.
Do I ask the question?
Yeah, ask the question again. What are your goals?
Okay. So you've mentioned about your goals and you want to stay focused. So what are they, if you don't mind sharing?
I do try to keep quiet. I just don't. I like to let my actions speak louder than my words, and it's, you know, puts a bit of pressure. But I have got a couple business plans, ventures on. I also do motivational speaking and try to, you know, engage with schools as well to be like a positive public figure, and to explain to them, you know, wearing hijab, especially to young Muslim girls, like you shouldn't feel once you maybe get married, that's it, like work ends, your life ends. No, like keep going no matter what. Understand your duties as well as a Muslim and implement that in your life everywhere. So I've got a few things. Yes.
That's great to hear. So I'd like to ask of how you got into the campaign, and also do you consider social media as something important or sustainable?
Yeah. Interestingly, a lot of people did think that I got the opportunity through social media, which I didn't. So for me, that puts a lot of like pressure on people to understand that social media is not the be-all end-all to your success. Like the amount of followers you have do not represent success. Like fame is fame, success is completely different things. So for me, yeah, it was in the real world. I had a friend of mine who had an agency, and she said they were looking for someone in hijab. Sent a few pictures of me, and then that was it from there. So it was nothing to do with them finding me on Instagram. But obviously now social media is very important. At the same time, of course it is. You need it because everything's like an online world, but it's not the be-all end-all. So I think young girls shouldn't feel so pressured into believing that Instagram or Twitter represents them, and you know, if they're not popular on it, then they're not doing anything with their lives, because you totally can be. Some of the most successful people in the world, we have no idea who they are because they don't need to put their face out there to make them feel better about themselves. So yes.
And what are your hopes, dreams and aspirations regarding the modest fashion industry?
I mean, I'm still reasonably new to this all. Although I've always had my own sense of style and whatever in terms of the actual industry, I'm still learning. It's like a never-ending thing because it's constantly changing. So, but what I've seen now is, I do feel there is a slight lack of modesty, of course, in the Western world. I mean, as much as a lot of retailers are giving us a lot more options, we're still not fully there yet. And that, I think, we really need to inspire and push the Eastern and Muslim, you know, retailers and brands to kind of move in the Western world, because there's so many Muslims living here now. So that's what I think should be the main goal at the moment. And you know, right now what I'm trying to do is just to be the face of modest fashion, if you want to call it that, just because implementing modesty into the mainstream fashion world, it will help so many negative things we see in the media. We always see negativity about Muslims, so fashion being a big influence, this is fantastic to have, you know, more modesty. It's not about the models, it doesn't matter if she's a Muslim or not, it's just the principle of modest dress and real Islamic designers or modest designers actually trying to push that through as well.
Having said that, do you believe that the change needs to happen externally or internally to the industry?
Both, in a way. So it will start off internally because everyone, you know, the consumers are influenced, of course, by what's on trend, and that's down to really, it's a bit of both though, because designers obviously pick up on what the consumers are into. So it has to come from both. Of course, bloggers and people like that, they have got a major influence on what people think is fashionable. Yeah. So it's great that there are so many Muslim bloggers and stuff, but again, you know, as much as there is so many, we still need to remember the principle of hijab. That's what I need to stress as well. It's not just about fashion, and you don't want to lose yourself in the process.
Thank you for watching, and thank you for the opportunity, HijUp Magazine, and please don't forget to subscribe to their YouTube channel, hijab.com.